YouTube, what is cracking? How are we? It's a beautiful day. Rainy and shit. Means I can't be on a roof. So I'm in McGee Garage, aka Laboratory. Alright, got this beautiful princess firewall's done. Got that metal in the middle there. Oop, back out. Oop. So the firewall is all done. Even got the body work done on it. The cowl's all done up there and all that done. Got this here is all, she's all done. It's all primered. Got a sander down in 400. I'm kind of waiting until I get some other stuff real quick done, knocking some other stuff out because I'm about to shoot the car purple and the roll bars, but I want to make sure that I've got everything done. So I'm doing a real quick last minute checklist, you know, hey, what needs welded, what's got to get made, yada yada yada. So one on the checklist was this beautiful mother fudger right here. So pretty. Oh, it's so pretty. Let's take a look at that there. Oh, okay, right there, yeah. Oh, look at that. Man, that's pretty. Isn't that pretty? I mean, like, there's pretty things in the world. My daughter, my old lady, Abigail, my mother, flowers, and that. Yep. Friend of mine's, old Sean Bandy, good old Springfield, Illinois there, Bandy Automotive, and Performance. Got to talking. Like yada 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 about mine, yada 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 about his. Says, man, I need a radiator, man. I gotta get me a radiator. $950 for him fucker. He's like, oh damn, man, I think I got one. He had one. Had a shroud on it. Look at this, man. That's for flowing. I mean, for whenever it's sitting, it sucks. Make sure it gets all corners of the radiator, and then whenever it's going, it opens up. Man, this is sharp, dude. It's nice. It's a 2-core, 1-inch, 2-core. Badass dude. It's nice. So I got me a radiator and I got it mounted. Okay. I think I'm going to do maybe some kind of, I don't know, something to support that top to the motor intake. Something. I'm going to do something. Maybe a strut rod. Something like that's going to support top of that. But I ain't 100% sure, and it ain't going to get welded to the car. It's going to get welded to that. I think I'm going to have a little weld, either a aluminum tab welded on the top of this so that I can run it over to the intake or carburetor or something, to something. So, yeah, radiator's mounted. And the whole front end, everything is mounted on there except for my little buttons, which I'm going to do my buttons after this is painted. That way that this ain't in the way. You know what I mean? So just kind of keeping shit out of the way. If it ain't got to be there, it don't need to be. Cow turned out good. Cow turned out real good. Like, kind of almost surprised myself. I'm no body man. I'm a roofer, man. So this shit takes me a long time. I used to be a little bit of a body man. I wasn't never really much of one. I went to school for it. My step-pop taught me auto body. Taught me how to do this. And need mine, this was all gone. From here to here, this was all gone. This was cut back clear up to here, all the way up to here. So I had to put in a new seal, new bevel, or new cowl here, down, new lip. I mean, look at all this. Look. Can you really honestly tell that that's, can you? I mean, can you? Can you honestly tell that that's been replaced? I can't. Everything has been going really good. I mean, when I say really good, yeah, I don't want to jinx myself. I don't want to jinx myself. But it's been going good. I'm happy, and I can't complain. No complaints. Another thing that I started doing, because that was everything that I had to do there, as far as the front end. The front end's all done. Got everything mocked up, welded, but needed to do the back 10. I've said that in my other video that was the last thing on the checklist, and that's what it is. Okay, the aluminum is the last thing on my checklist, and I got to make a transmission, which goes here. Got to make that, dude. Which I'm gonna need a brake, a longer brake than what I've got. I've only got 32 inches or something like that, 36 inches. he's got a bigger brake, so I need to bend this thing here, kind of stop signy. It's basically gonna be half of a stop sign, going down to a flat bend. It's gonna be crazy, but it'll work. And I've already made one, but it wasn't the right damn size. So I got the back going, right, and this is what I got. The tubs were existing. All right. Now I was gonna buy new tubs, but this is an old car, okay? And the way that they've done everything and cut it all out and everything, they made those to fit. All right. So I'm kind of stuck because there's not a size that I can buy. I can get the width, but I can't get the height. So with that being said, I'm gonna reuse them. This one here's got a little bit of a ding and a bing in it, but I'm gonna put that in the bead roller and I'm gonna straighten that sucker out. That will not look like that. That will look good. I'll straighten that out. I've been watching some videos how to straighten this shit out, and I can get that metal looking fine. I'm gonna air my slick up and use a rubber mallet and then put my bead rolls back in it. My bead rolls will straighten it right back out. So these panels up, okay, this one here I made. All right, so this is my new aluminum. It's all fingered up, been finger fudged to death. Got 290s bends on each side, so that isn't just sitting there. That goes down and beside that tub along the sides, so that I ain't got to screw the face of it, because I don't want to screw the face of it and have screws in the face of it. That'll look like shit. So my screws are going to go on the side. So I got 290s on there. Got my bead roll, which I did that. Ain't bad. Alright, that's my first panel. Well, no, it's not my first panel. That's my first successful with that style bead in it. Alright, I've been recessing the panel, which is called a step, and I've been stepping them. I now do that real well. Bending metal, do that for a living. But the bead rolling, that was a new thing. So I kind of practiced on a bunch of metal that I had laying around, and then just laid this bad boy in, and it worked out perfect. You can't even tell where I started and finished. I ain't shitting you. You won't find where I started and finished on that panel. So I got the bead roll in it, and then I started tinkering around, and I was trying to figure out, because see, a pipe is hard to get around in two pieces. For instance, like if I was to cut a half moon in this and a half moon in that, when I go and put that on that pipe, I'm scalping it. All right, it's gonna peel paint. It's gonna be a pain in the ass. So it's best to go around a pipe in three pieces. So you kind of cut your pipe into thirds, and then go from there into thirds. So as you can kind of see, I'm halfway around this panel, a little over half. I'm 2/3 of the way around that pipe. My next piece at the top right there, as you can kind of see, let me get me a video up here, okay? As you can see where that's been stepped, that is where that other panel is going to go. I haven't made that yet. All right, it's lunchtime. All right, but after lunch, I'm going to make it. All right. Problem is the metal that I've got does not do what I want it to do. Okay, this is straight, and it needs to go out at the ends. So I'm going to have to take and put this in there. I'm going to take this straight piece and put it up in there. And then I'm going to take pieces of poster board. Okay. And I'll take that poster board and cut it to what I want. And so that it fits. Because what I'm going to have is a panel that kind of goes like this. You get what I'm saying? It ain't going to be just two straight up pieces. It's got to make this. See how that does? Ooh, let me see here. See how that does that? So it comes out and then it goes back. So it's going to have to come over. This panel here is going to have to jump over and then come up. Okay, so that's what I got to do. Well, to get that, I'll take poster board and I'll put poster board coming out and trim that where it needs to be with the poster board taped to this metal. Then I'll transfer that over to my aluminum, my new aluminum. So, long story short, I'm thinking today I'll get all my templates, because that's a template, And that's a template. I'm going to keep that metal. I'm going to use that. I'm going to use those. Both. I'm going to use all that. And then that's the old metal that was in the car that I've kind of cut and made to what I want. I'm going to step those. I know you guys have probably seen those and they're sticking up. Those right there. That's going to get a step just like right here, and that panel will lay onto that panel. It's just I had this in, and it's already, you don't understand what it takes to get this in there. Okay, so you got to kind of loosen the tubs, paint a fucking dick. So I'm leaving that in there. Once this is all done, I'll get it all zooted together with some Clecos. I'll Cleco it all together, and then I'll draw my lines. And I'll pull this panel out and I'll recess that, and this will all sit nice and plush together. It won't have no funky ass looking like that right there. Okay, that ain't what I want. I don't want panels laying on top of each other. I want them recessed so that they're nice and flat when we touch them. So kind of similar to my front, you know. On my front, I did all these seams in here, and like I say, you can't, you know, because I recessed that panel, you don't see a metal edge all the way along there, you know what I mean? Because the one panel's higher than the other. They're both the same. So anyway, long story short, I'm gonna get that template made today, and then I gotta transfer all this and make new. I gotta transfer. These are just templates, so I'm gonna transfer these to new metal, remake it, and man, I hope it turns out. I don't think it's gonna turn out great. I don't think it's gonna be like the best metal job you've ever seen. But when a person asks me what I do for a living, and I tell them I'm a roofer, and they ask me, how many race cars did you build? Just this one. And they're gonna say, you did that metal? That's pretty. I'm gonna get a pretty good. I'll guarantee you that. That it ain't gonna look no hoopty shit. I mean, it's already a hoopty, but I mean, it ain't gonna be hoopty. It'll look all right. It'll look good. It'll do what I need it to do. That's all I want. That's all I want. I don't need fancy. Only thing fancy I want is bowling balls and tennis shoes. That's all I like. Okay. So anyway, other than that, that's what I got going on. Yeah, I can't even think of nothing else. I basically just got to get this thing painted and get some paint on her and get her together, because honestly, I'm pretty sure you guys are tired of seeing the same primered up car. It don't look no different in the videos. It ain't changing nothing. As soon as I get something built and completed, I take it into my house because it's done, and then I move on to the next project, because I ain't got a whole lot of room in this garage to be leaving shit, or I don't want all of my new stuff and shit to get full of dust. So just kind of, as I do it, take it in the house, you know. It works out good. Anyway, so other than that, guys, about all I got right now, man. It's a rainy day. I'll go eat some lunch and think about what I'm gonna do. So, like I say, pick up that Bible, maybe check it out. Pretty cool. And that's about all I got, man. That's about all I got, you know. Love thy neighbor and peace and chicken grease.